Today, our destination is space, the final frontier, the ultimate place where everything comes together. But as everybody who has ever been into rocket science will tell you, it's not without its challenges. NASA itself says space is hard. And today, it will be no different. So join with us on a journey of trial, tribulation, but also triumph. And we begin on a very beautiful morning with the reconditioning of the launch pad from our last success, where we managed to send to high altitude the sounding Rocket 2. And obviously, since it was a resounding success, what better thing to build than the sounding Rocket 3, this time with a little bit bigger, diameter and a significantly more experiments and payload. So, we're gonna be taking a 0.625 fairing. I'm gonna be placing immediately the Communitron because after all of these rockets are remote controlled. And speaking of which, that means that they should be having aerial unit or a control unit, battery and communications, because without them no rocket will fly. Then we have put the nose cone, and the nose cone has been put because it contains a parachute, which if you think about it, it's kind of important. It really needs to be able to return the rocket back from space. Yes, so now we are putting a lot of the scientific instruments courtesy of the Sounding Rockets mod by RoverDude. And at the bottom we are gonna be putting a nice sounding rocket motor, and we have put in addition one more, I think it was inline mystery goo, beside having one more external mystery goo. Yeah, then we're gonna decide, I don't have the 0.625 decouplers, so I'm now just trying to find the suitable decoupler that would work with the current rocket. And I decided to go with the 1.25 meter decoupler because I have no better. And at the bottom of it I decided to slap a giant hammer booster, because what could possibly go wrong? Yes, and as we can say, we have named this rocket a very resounding sounding Rocket 3, because 3 times the charm, right? Yes. And we have decided, in addition, we're going to be checking the staging, making sure that everything is correct, and adjusting the thrust to weight, because that might become a problem a little bit later on. So let's just reduce the thrust to weight, making sure that the TWR is always around 1.8. And then we have decided to queue 2 of them, because, well, obviously it makes sense. Right, so we're gonna be scrapping one. Actually, we don't only need one, because what could possibly go wrong? Speaking of which, we have some tech nodes that we want to unlock: the general rocketry, stability, flight control, aviation, advanced rocketry, and base science. All of them courtesy of the science that we have lovingly gathered. And on this beautiful morning, we have decided to launch our first sounding Rocket 3. Off it goes into the sunrise, such a beautiful rocket, going steadily above the clouds. What? A little bit flippity flip-flop. Stage. We want to save everything. Okay, then I figured if I could stage this rocket, it would be mighty helpful, right? Well, it is, kinda. If you want to design a beautifully standing torch right in the middle of the Kerbal Space Center to serve as a momentum that not everything in rocketry should be taken for granted. Well, thinking about it, we have made a mistake. An obvious mistake. We need small inline reaction wheels, so we're gonna be put it in, and we're gonna be calling it Sounding Rocket 3 because, well, let's correct it. Right, with that rocket being ready for flight, let's kick it along, and hopefully everything will be better this time. Right, as you can tell, it already looks much better, and it goes uppity up, and yeah, no. Alright, so let's see, can we stage it at the right moment? And, well, the only improvement that I can tell going from last time is that it hit the ground much faster, so, well, it's a plus. And as you can tell by this wonderful fins flipping off, yeah. Okay, well, you know what? Redesign. Let's go back to the drawing board. With that thing being said, let's just begin from scratch, shall we? So this time we have unlocked a lot of technology that would be able to get us eventually to space, possibly even to orbit. However, I have decided to go the route of designing the real sort of satellite, almost, if you will. The thing is that the previous small avionics unit did not contain the SAS, the stability assist, the controlling of the rocket. So you can control it, but you cannot have stability assist, which this current probe, which is Probodobrine Hex, does. And I'm still using the same old trusses, I'm putting the same old experiments, except I'm putting a different parachute, I'm putting a different probe core, I have put in the inline battery, and I have put an addition of, I believe, the parachute. Yes, the parachute that is designed to fit with this one. So at the bottom we're gonna put now a small decoupler, which we have now unlocked, and we have the 0.625, so that's good. We're gonna be putting the cargo, fairing, if you will, and then we're gonna be placing this within the fairing, so it's aerodynamically stay. Okay, it looks a little bit big, it's protruding. Okay. That means we'll need to rearrange things a little bit. I think I'm gonna remove this inline battery, and if I place it like this, oh, now it's only the antenna that's sticking out. Okay, antenna can be placed on the side. I want to design the rockets and the satellites that look believable, that look like they could actually fly. They have a clear purpose, and they could fit in within the fairing. So clipping for me, at this point in the game, it's kind of a no-no. So yeah, let's put, now everything, looks good. It fits well. Oh, the solar panels are clipping a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna place them on this side, and I'm gonna lower them so they don't clip into the fairing, because that's when the physics start acting weird and we get Kraken issues. Right, okay, so this would be the Sounding Rocket 4, because Sounding Rocket 3 was the charm. Not. Right, okay, so with that thing being said, now we can actually place a small tank, a small engine, because we only want to be crossing the Kerman line, which is 75 kilometers, which will bring us back to space. Yes, and we have lots of experiments that I would like to return from, so I don't need a very powerful rocket. I need a rocket that will get us there. And this little bit stubby butt plug will gonna be perfect to get us where we want to go. Up in the heaven, yes, or in the space, or whatever you want to call it. Now, do we have rocket fins? Yeah, I'm gonna take 4, thank you. And I'm thinking, you know what? I might just use the launch pads that I have been lovingly unlocking. I'm just trying to find a good one. Milk stool? Don't mind if I do. Let's ground it in, and like I said, it's beautiful. It looks awesome. So get ready for the launch. 3, 2, 1, and ignition. Good thing that we put that launch tool. It really held the rocket together. Yeah, sorry, sarcasm aside. At least the rocket is going straight and true, right? Yeah. See? No harm, no foul. It looks beautiful. It goes up, and this time we are ready to go to space. Finally. So I was even thinking, should I be tilting it just a little bit so it gets a little bit velocity, so that it would land in the sea or somewhere else once it returns back? Yeah, that might be perfectly plausible. So at some point I have decided to just tilt it a little bit so that we get a very nice, and all the while I've been putting the thrust to weight around 2-ish, just so that it doesn't go too far, and everything looks hunky-dory. Our apoapsis is already rising above 16, 17, which means we will be for sure going to the high altitude, which is great. And then hopefully, I'm just hoping that we will have enough oomph to get into space. Perfect. There we go. Look at it go. So soon enough it will be staging. And let's ignite the stage. There we go. Looks beautiful. And what? Come on! Oh no. Not again. No, we're not gonna do this again. Come on. Play with me. Work with me over here. Can we get some velocity upwards, please? Our current apoapsis is 32, which means we're not gonna go to space unless we find our stuff together and make sure that we point it upwards. Fortunately enough, through some manual fiddling, I was able to point it upwards, so hopefully there is a chance yet that we go to space. Right, okay, apoapsis at 40, so I'm not gonna be moving it anywhere soon. Just point it upwards and thrust as much as possible. We have enough delta V, that's pretty much a given. However, whether or not we will be able to project it in the right direction might be a little bit of a pickle. So let's see. All in all, apoapsis is climbing. I think it's 64, 65. Yeah, come on. Yes, it's over 70, and that means we will be going to space today, ladies and gentlemen. This is beautiful. Right. Cool. So, speaking about that, that means that we could actually now point a little bit further downrange just to make sure that we reach a new biome, because that might be also helpful. Right, and this rocket actually has very little control. It really controls poorly, mainly because I haven't put any SAS on, or actually it's only controlled by this tiny probe. Alright, the engine is off. Away with the fairing. Let's extend the antenna just to make sure that we do have connectivity. And as we cross the Kerbal line, it's time to actually perform some science and take some cool selfies. Right. Now, let me just grab a good angle for a decent enough selfie. Marketing material is extremely important. We want to make the space popular and fun. So yes, investors should be gathered to make money and invest at us so that we could propel this space program onwards. Okay, let's observe the mystery goo. What do we have here? Okay, space near. Good. That means that we are in the good biome. Okay, let's log the temperature. We can immediately transmit it because, well, there is no loss of science. Another transmission, there is no loss of science for the barometer and this, and the thermometer. But now let's see, record meteorological data. Well, I guess it cannot be done in space. What about the aeronomical data? No? Test data? No? Materials data? No. So, okay, all of these sounding rocket experiments are completely dead in space. Well, we can do the telemetry, and we can send the telemetry, and it's not a problem. We can ultimately send out all of the experiments once we actually land, because we might be landing in a new biome, and that means, obviously, we're gonna have things done right? Another screenshot for posterity, and I just thought, look at this beautiful Kerbal backdrop. Guys, I'm using tons of visual enhancements. The Eve continued, the parallax, the black wreck volumetric clouds, planet shine, I think waterfall, and also real plume. When it comes to this, you know, additional visual effects, 2FX with the black wreck setup, and I think that's about it. Yeah, so all in all, this all makes this old game, this old lady, look spectacular. It's beautiful, and oh, by the way, I did put the heat shield at the bottom of this craft. So now, when we are back, we are cramming a lot of meteorological data and all that stuff that we could benefit from it. Materials, experiments, atmospheric pressure scan, awesome. Okay, transmit it, temperature scan. Oh, don't you be flipping, boy! Okay, so I've decided to ditch. The antenna obviously broke off, it doesn't really matter. The probe has its own antenna as a backup, so remember, always bring backup. Whenever you're going somewhere, it's always a prudent idea and it's well worth it. So the heat shield endured, and even the decoupler endured, go figure that. We are a little bit supersonic. We're gonna be transitioning to the subsonic right about now-ish. Beautiful. So I'd chosen to get rid of the decoupler, which clearly got stuck. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, but we seemed that we were going towards the mountains. What? I mean, how huge the mountain is. Jeez Louise. Alright, I guess we have deployed the parachute, and still this guy refuses to leave. Now, can we perform some more materials experiments? I could, but then I wouldn't be sending them. Okay, can I do a repeatable review data, atmospheric pressure? Well, that one I can send. Okay, and then hopefully let's log another one. Okay, I guess that one we already have. What about the temperature? Review the data. Well, let's recycle it once again. Okay, this one we can actually send it. Once again, using the antenna, the communitron that we have to send out all the relative experiments, which will help us gain additional amounts of science. And right about now I figured, okay, well, it's going so slow, I might as well accelerate it a little bit. Because after all, I don't even see that the altitude is counting. Apparently we are already below ground according to this altitude measurements, but I think that the mountains are quite high, so we're gonna be descending on the mountain slopes. I just hope everything will be fine and we won't crash and die a horrible death, because it would really be a shame that after all this successful flight, that science that we have gathered and kept is wasted. Speaking of that, let us just follow this probe as it gently descends, and come on, soon enough, easy does it, tiger. Great. Okay, now let's recover. Will you stop spinning, please? I mean, I'm trying to stop you here. Come on, I would like to have the science, please. Oh, and it's and now, you know, this reminds me of one song. It's a long way to Tipperary, it's a long way down to the science, if I don't die a horrible death. Yeah, if my horrible singing hasn't scared you yet, I have accelerated to 1200%, which means 12 times, just so you don't have to sit 35 minutes watching this unfold, because I really wanted to recover this, but I already was running out of electric charge, and if I came to the edge of the mountain, it would be essentially game over, because this probe would flip and start falling down, and most likely would go a rapid unscheduled disassembly, like the Starship in the Flight 7. Well, pun not intended, however, just came to mind. So I've decided to let's show you the entirety, but 12 times sped up. And come on, normal recovery. No, it didn't work. Come on, no. Shall we? This is nerve biter because it's already close. And we manage. Hoorah! 114 science recovered, which means it's quite a lot. And it's amazing. So, with the new science gathered, let us go and unlock the secrets of the tech tree. General construction, well, that gives us a launch clamp, so it would definitely be beneficial. Enhanced survivability gives us lots of radial chutes, which are more than welcome. And I'm thinking, shall I go with the general rocketry or anything else? I'm honestly almost inclined to go either with the landing or electricity. So, because if I choose general construction, we cannot go any further. We will have another 45 node and we cannot unlock anything else. Would I benefit more from either the landing or the control, or I'm actually leaning towards the electrics because this gives me the lights and everything that, so that my ships would look ultimately so much cooler. Well, it's a worthy consideration. So let's see, did we get solar panels here? No. Space exploration, that's also a good one. Miniaturization, that would be beneficial. Recycling, yeah, maybe. Storage technology, highly, but I think I'm gonna go with the electrics. Yeah, and obviously that science will take some time to unlock. And also with those two tech nodes, we have able to gather 2 upgrade points, which we're gonna be spending into the research and development just to get all that more science used. Okay, and the spaceplane hangar. Beautiful. Thank you very much guys for watching, and